It's July 11th, 2026. Welcome to the video. 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, targeting the regime. That was a quote from President Trump this morning. And that was a response to what someone said from a bunker deep inside of Iran, supposedly from a Telegram account. The man who hasn't been seen in 135 days, Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, or he's also known as the I told you not to hit ships in the Strait of Hormuz anymore, or we're going to blow up your IRGC headquarters. He's allegedly disfigured, hasn't made a single public appearance since the February 28th strikes. We don't know if he's actually alive or if it's just people using him. They're the mouthpieces that are using his namesake to try to exert their will across Iran. Here's what the quote said. These criminals whose names are known from top to bottom will take to their graves the unfulfilled wish of dying peacefully in their beds. The revenge is the demand of our nation and it will most certainly be carried out. They should know that this does not depend on my personal presence, remember that, or that of any other official. Whether we are here or not, this will be accomplished, and soon freedom-loving people throughout the world will each carry out part of this divine mission. So that to me is a little hint that he's not in existence anymore. My personal presence, speaking of other officials who have gone bye-bye. So that to me sounds like the inner circle is trying to reassure the people that when they finally expose the fact that this cardboard Ayatollah doesn't exist anymore, then it won't be a big shock. They're kind of psychologically doing psyops, psychological operations on their own people to prepare them for when it comes clean that this guy doesn't exist anymore. And then he says freedom-loving people throughout the world. So he's talking about proxy armies who love destruction, who love the Ayatollah's way of doing business, slaughtering 40 to 50,000 of their own people. That's the freedom-loving people that he's talking about. He didn't name Trump in that speech, but he didn't have to, because for a week, the streets of Mashhad have been packed with mourners holding banners saying, "We will KILL Trump." That's what the banners say. Crowds chanting "Death to America," and the President of the United States went on Truth Social at 9:18 p.m. last night and posted this. 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow should the Iranian government act on its threat to assassinate a sitting president of the United States, in this case me. Orders have already been given and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able for a one-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. We've got two messages, one from a man from a bunker on his Telegram app whose body is made out of cardboard, and then the other one, President of the United States, who is in control of CENTCOM. Yeah, pretty sure that cardboard Ayatollah is about to get shipped somewhere he doesn't really want to go. Oh, and then stay for the Hot Topics Roundup section because Ukraine just did something massive to Russia's fleet in the Black Sea that you need to see. Oh, and stunning new videos right here. This is a little teaser of UFOs have been released from the White House. And this one right here, this is the enhanced image. I'm going to break down everything I'm seeing here. So stay for the Global Roundup section. That's about 3/4 of the way through the video. So when you've got 1,000 missiles pointed at someone and they're still executing their threats, it kind of shows to me that cardboard cutouts don't come with brains. So here's what just happened, because the last 96 hours have been insane. We know that there's been 170 strikes on the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, specifically in the south by CENTCOM. Absolutely unleashing with F-18 Super Hornets, F-16 fighter jets that are the Wild Weasel variants, striking Bandar Abbas, Qashem, Sarik, explosions all confirmed by the Iranian state media themselves. The US simultaneously revoked Iran's oil sale license that had allowed Iranian crude to flow under the MOU. They slapped fresh sanctions on the financial network surrounding Mojtaba Khamenei personally. So all those people in the inner circle that are likely the ones that are sending the Telegram messages have now had sanctions put on them personally. And the US just gave an ultimatum to the regime itself. There will supposedly be talks today between a few different nations, and the US military has just resolutely said that Iran has 24 hours to fully open up the strait or else. So we're going to talk about what that or else could be and what the US military is doing, the Secret Service is doing to protect President Trump amidst all these threats. And then also remember, President Trump also declared that the Memorandum of Understanding signed in Versailles on June 11th, that deal was supposed to end the war and have a ceasefire, is effectively over at this point. And I want to tell you quickly about my company, Max Afterburner Energy, because in the cockpit, there's no room for a 2 p.m. energy crash, no brain fog, no hesitation. Every decision matters. Every second counts. That's why I built MaxAfterburnerEnergy.com, the first fighter pilot owned and operated energy drink company. I'm so excited about this. We have a custom fighter pilot energy blend that's meant to not give you that dreaded caffeine crash. That's why our motto is don't crash, because with fighter jets and with energy drinks, you don't want to crash. That's not a good thing at all. Fighter jets don't have cup holders, so before combat missions, I'd chug an energy drink on the flight line. The result? Heartburn and that dreaded crash 30 minutes later at 30,000 feet. Not ideal. So to fix that, we've got natural caffeine, nootropics for focus, zero crash, zero junk, engineered to keep you locked on like a fighter pilot all day long to help you do whatever it is that you're doing and do it better. This isn't just a drink, it's a system. But here's the thing, the energy drinks are in production right now. So just head over to maxafterburnerenergy.com, join the email list, and you'll be notified the moment that they drop. You'll get discount emails, and you'll be one of the first to get notified when these things are in stock. We've also got new merch that's coming over. We've got a new F-35 shirt, which I think you're really going to love, and that'll go live here soon. But for right now, just go to maxafterburnerenergy.com, join the email list, and you'll be notified also about all the different content we do every week. So it'll keep you posted so you never miss anything going on around the globe. But now let's talk about the platforms, the targeting chains, because Iran's coastline, southern Iran, Bandar Abbas, Qashem, Sarik, some of this target imagery right here, one of the most layered air defense environments in the Middle East. Russian-built SA-20 Gargoyle systems, Tor M1 SAMs, multiple radar networks, Iranian-built Bavar 373, long-range surface-to-air missiles. You don't just fly into this area and walk out willy-nilly. You have to kick the door in exactly in the right order. So enter the F-16CJ in the suppression package. Put yourself in that cockpit. You're going in, you're looking at all your sensors, you're trying to find where the surface-to-air missiles are so that your team behind you doesn't get targeted by them. You're basically the bait. You're basically the one with massive cojones. How do these pilots even fit their cojones in their flight suits? And cojones is a general term. It could be a man or a woman, okay? It's a mindset. Then come the strike aircraft. Navy's F-18E, F-18F Super Hornets off the USS Abraham Lincoln. Confirmed operating in the Gulf right now. The Lincoln's air wing was actively loading ordnance and running drills even on Thursday as diplomatic teams worked the phones. These crews are ready to go at a moment's notice, and they've been utilized multiple times in the last week. They got the call on July 7th and on July 8th. Super Hornet is hauling GBU-38 JDAMs, AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles for coastal targets. They can also carry joint air-to-surface standoff missiles, which is a massive capability, along with the F-15E. Enter the F-15E, the strike package being loaded down with F-18s and F-15Es is a great strategy because it gives the ability for air interdiction. Air interdiction is the term of you fight your way in, so whether that's drones, whether you're trying to target ballistic missiles in the launch phase, or you're targeting maybe a sporty Iranian fighter pilot, the 2 or 3 that are left that can actually get airborne in their F-5s or their other aircraft. You have to be ready for that. You don't know what Iran's going to do. They're a very unpredictable actor, so you have to be prepared for everything, which is why the F-15E and these multi-role jets like the F-18 and the F-16 are so capable in this environment. So you fight your way in, you drop your bombs, and then you fight your way out, especially now with the F-15Es being loaded out with the APKWS rocket system. Enter the APKWS, which is about $20,000 versus a $25,000 or $30,000 Iranian drone, and you're basically making money with every shot. So think about this strike package working in coordination that would happen if 1,000 of these missiles actually go towards Iran. So we would see standoff weapons launched from submarines, launched from the carrier strike group, basically the VLS systems, the vertical launch systems. I know you acronym addicts are out there like, please just give us one. Okay, there you go, the VLS, vertical launch system. What that does is it launches Tomahawks, SM-2s. It's very capable at striking down ballistic missiles from Iran, because remember, that's their focus, ballistic missiles. And the intelligence services are working overtime with these surface-to-air missile sites being mapped in a way that they probably haven't been before. Right now, the US military, US government is asking firms to not publish any information of satellite imagery in Iran itself. CNN actually was able to get their hands on some, so good job, CNN. And that video is very interesting. We're going to cover that one tomorrow. It's about the different nuclear sites that looks like Iran is rebuilding, but it's showing that Iran is trying to protect their most sensitive sites in the Strait of Hormuz. They want to protect the ports, they want to protect the fast attack craft warehouses, they want to keep their ability to threaten the Strait of Hormuz, and it looks like they're trying to move more and more surface-to-air missiles to that area. And remember, Iran is not nothing. You can't discount the enemy. But VAR 373 launchers, radar sites, command and control nodes. IRGC Navy, though, has lost more than 60 fast attack boats in the last week. We know that happened just recently, and more could be happening as well. Also, U.S. mine clearance operations still going on in the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran's ballistic missile inventory is what they lean on. So this is likely one of the main things that would be targeted as well with the 1,000 missiles that would go into Iran. And that could just be the first wave, honestly. 1,000 missiles going in, basically the first wave, likely focusing again on their nuclear enrichment facilities. And remember, President Trump also said this: either they give us the nuclear dust or we have very low-cost military options to ensure it remains buried underground forever. So what does that tell you? Well, we might be sending in a few more GBU-57s as a part of those 1,000 missiles just to verify that we don't need inspectors to go in. Yeah, our inspector is 30,000 pounds and happens to look like a little skyscraper. So you didn't want the actual IAEA inspectors? No worries. Our friend GBU-57 has its clipboard and it'll come in at about 1,000 miles an hour. Mohammad Baghar Ghalibaf, Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, former IRGC Air Force commander, current chief negotiator, remains the most dangerous surviving power center in Tehran. His public statement this week: the era of bullying and extortion is over, we don't fold. Ghalibaf is the man who's been running Iran's negotiating posture while Mojtaba Khamenei stays invisible. He's both the diplomatic track and the military command structure, likely, which means any agreement signed by Ghalibaf might have IRGC buy-in, but it's also why Ghalibaf stays so hardline, because he can't show any weakness to these IRGC generals. You made it to the Global Roundup, my friends. Check out this video right here. In the Sea of Azov, Ukraine is absolutely decimating Russia's oil fleet, energy infrastructure. These are one-way attack drones that are absolutely decimating these ships. It looks like 10 Russian vessels have been hit in the Sea of Azov, northern Black Sea, 8 oil tankers, 1 bulk cargo vessel, 1 ferry, all part of Russia's shadow fleet supplying fuel to occupied Crimea. And also in the air this week, looks like Ukrainian F-16s working in coordination with a Patriot SAM battery and a Swedish Saab 340 airborne early warning aircraft were said to have shot down a Russian Sukhoi Su-35S, Russia's premier air superiority fighter. Russian military bloggers confirmed the kill from the cockpit. Right now, it looks like these Dutch F-16s from the 70s just bagged one of Russia's best frontline fighter jets. So that's massive. I'll probably do a full video on that very soon. And then check out this UFO footage. This disclosure right here shows something that just looks insane. I mean, it's got a lot of bumps around it. To me, when we look at the enhanced version, it looks like a lot of sensors. So this, to me, the top part, I mean, it doesn't look like any aircraft we've ever seen. I mean, just insane to see this. Looks like some points on it that have a little bit more heat than the rest. So that could be glare coming off of different sensors. But this thing looks like nothing that's ever been released before from any military. Just incredible to see. I mean, at this point, when it comes to ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, are there some advanced technologies out there from, other countries, the United States, China, Russia, potentially, or is this from somewhere else? I mean, that remains to be seen. But for me, I would love to go up and dogfight this thing just to see what it could do. And that takes us to the 40 chess strategic analysis section, my friends. So here's the strategic insight that nobody in the legacy media is connecting right now, and it changes everything about how you read the Khamenei telegram message this morning. The 40 chessboard isn't about missiles and ships. It's about command authority, specifically who in Tehran is actually making the targeting decisions that keep blowing up the ceasefire. Here's what we know. Mojtaba Khamenei hasn't been seen in public. Defense Secretary Hegseth confirmed on record that he is wounded and likely disfigured. DNI Tulsi Gabbard testified to the White House Intelligence Committee that he was very seriously wounded. U.S. officials privately told the press, "We don't think the Iranians would go through all this trouble to install a dead man as supreme leader, but at the same time, we have no proof that he is at the helm." So Iranian state media has used AI-generated videos to show him delivering messages. He didn't attend his own own father's burial. He communicates exclusively through written telegram statements like the one we saw this morning. But if you look at the behavior, Iranian attacked ships in the Strait of Hormuz while simultaneously negotiating through Qatar and Oman, publicly signaling they want to preserve the MOU. Yeah. But it looks like they did tell CNN privately that Iranian officials admitted the ship attacks came from an errant sect of hardliners trying to undermine negotiations. The IRGC Khatim al-Kanabi headquarters issued its own statement threatening Gulf nations that host American bases. It sounds like General Salami is getting a little handsy. Him and General Tuna seem to be going a little bit hard in the paint, going against the actual regime in Iran itself. Because right now it looks like the entity making the targeting decisions in the Strait may not be responsible to the entity signing the diplomatic agreements, which is just a massive revelation, and it kind of shows us a little bit about what's going on. Likely why the US hasn't just gone full gloves off across the entire country. Hey, we didn't do that. We didn't attack those ships. That was a wild rogue agent out there operating under the helm of the IRGC, and they don't want to be held responsible for that because they know what could happen if they're actually breaking the deal that they negotiated. What do you guys think? Do you think it's an errant, wild general somewhere in the Strait of Hormuz that's making these calls, basically going off the script as someone who's more hardline than even the IRGC in Tehran? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know where you think this goes. Or hey, let me know what you think about the UFO we just looked at. That'd be cool to hear about as well. Go and follow me on X, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there pretty much every day. And then remember, go to maxafterburnerenergy.com. Sign up for our email list. It's totally free. You'll be notified about our energy drinks and about our merch once that drops. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, signing off.